Today, we are going to talk about 5 different ways you are not using Getaround's data. This may be a little shocking to you because nobody knows about this. Before I get into this, click below, grab the 5 things you must do before starting a car rental business. That also includes the Car Share Growth Guide, which gives you a city-by-city breakdown of which platforms are strongest in your area. I just updated this again, so it's going to have a lot of new information in there. Lots of great information, though, overall. And also, don't forget to give this channel a click and subscribe. Always appreciate that. So let's get into it. This is interesting to me because as someone who has recently gotten a good look at Getaround's data, what I would tell you is that there is a wealth of knowledge sitting out there with this company that nobody knows about. And it's absolutely astounding to me. It's really fascinating. They originally put the Connect system on all their cars so that they could aggregate all of this data. Well, they have a ton of it now. Obviously, the company has gone through a lot of leadership changes the last 6 to 8 months. They've gotten a variety of things fixed from a financial standpoint, but it's interesting to me to see that as a host, they have a lot of information to share with you that can really help grow your fleet. So let's talk about 5 different things that they can impart to you that you didn't know you could have access to. So number 1, you're probably not even using the account manager system at Getaround. Now this has changed over time, changed quite a bit. In the old days, it used to be if you had 3 cars, you were eligible for an account manager. Now I would say it sits at the 5-car mark with Getaround. But what I would tell you is that if you are growing quickly, if you are someone who has already 3 cars and you're looking to buy 2 pretty shortly, just communicate that with them and they'll put an account manager with you and really get you up to speed and moving quickly so that you can really leverage this data to place cars in the optimal spots. Now, that said, they have a variety of information by zip code in your city. What I would tell you right now, to really maximize the benefit of this data, I'm talking about cities like Boston, North Jersey, they're no longer in New York, Washington, D.C., Philadelphia, Atlanta, probably Chicago, Dallas, Los Angeles, San Francisco, maybe like Orlando. I would tell you that those are kind of their prime areas where they are most effective. Secondly, you're not placing cars in maximal booking rate areas. They have the actual booking rate per zip code. They can see how often cars are getting booked in each zip code throughout each city. So obviously, you want to put cars where it is high, right? So they have that information. They can see that very clearly. Now, like I said, you may ask, well, what if I don't have 5 cars yet? They do have a junior account manager team. Obviously, they're not as good as the account managers. We all know that. We've all interacted with them, but they're not bad. And if you have a question that you feel like is kind of more complex and whatnot, they can refer you to the account manager. So that does happen on occasion. They're kind of there to field more base level questions. But I think a lot of people go into the Getaround system, maybe trying it out with 1 or 2 cars. They interact with the junior account management team. They're kind of young. And so they kind of think, oh, well, this isn't really helping me too much, whatever. I can tell you from my experience, when you really kind of express to them that you're building something serious, and then they put you with an account manager, that team is very impressive. And the data that they can show you on where to place your cars is super impressive. Number 3, drive with Uber with Getaround. So as we know, Getaround acquired HireCar. The acquisition of HireCar was kind of a controversial thing. A lot of people think that was like, oh, what a dumb move that was. It's interesting because they got that company obviously for pretty cheap, but they got the company for just basically the name recognition with rideshare drivers. So now most of that clientele from HireCar is actually booking cars through Drive with Uber on Getaround. And that is the app that they built on behalf of Uber as well as Uber Rent. Obviously, they also got HireCar's CEO as well, who brought a lot of money with him. So there's certainly a healthy debate to say whether that was a good decision or not. But what I would tell you is that the Drive with Uber program, when your cars are in those eligible cities, your cars will do much better on Getaround. That's just a fact. I've seen it personally. When the car is eligible for car share and ride share in a Drive with Uber city, those cars do much, much better from a revenue standpoint. That's when you start seeing the car get up into the $1,200, $1,300, $1,400 a month, $1,500 a month for just a base level sedan. That's an excellent ROI for a car that is that cheap. Number 4, the seasonality of zip codes can be adjusted and switched over time. So what I mean by that is that car share zip code may be very effective in the summer, and a lot of people are using that that car in that area for vacation and whatnot, and using that car for road trips or whatever. But in the winter months, it may not do well because nobody's vacationing. However, if you move that car to a strong drive with Uber zip code, then it will take off again with regards to utilization. That's kind of how you have to think about this, is that the car share seasonality is different from the drive with Uber zip code seasonality, and you can move these cars in different places to really maximize their use throughout the year, and you can do that with the help of the account management team. So that's very interesting. That's something I've been taking a close look at lately in Boston. And lastly, number 5, you're not scaling using their data. They actually have excellent information with regards to how to scale in their system. They have kind of a whole breakdown of all of their zip codes, and they can tell you how many spaces of cars can accommodate demand zip code by zip code. There's a lot of great information that if you were to bring 40 or 50 cars, they can tell you where to put them exactly. So I think that that's kind of a really interesting thing with them. They know exactly where to place the cars based on the data they have, and I think that's a really good benefit for anyone who's looking to scale within their system. So you can see exactly how many cars a city can hold on their platform. That's certainly a benefit to you. I can tell you that this industry and the hosts and the people who are using car share cars are grossly underutilizing this benefit. It's just, when I saw it, I was like, wow, nobody knows about this. Nobody knows about this at all. The technology in this industry is actually much better than anyone knows about. And that's a fascinating thing for me. Overall, drop some comments. Let me know what your thoughts are on that. I'd love to hear them. And before I go, click below, grab the 5 things you must do before starting a car rental business. I'll catch you in the next episode. Thank you.